Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today I'm going to present about the replica of the journal related to the subject of quantitative research. And the title is The Effect of Imagery and On-Screen Text on Foreign Language Vocabulary Learning from Audiovisual Input. By me, Hermy Yunisa. Okay, so this study examines the effect of imagery and on-screen text on word learning and in three viewing modalities such as caption, L1 subtitles, and no subtitles. And the data were collected from 81 EFL learners, and they are L1 Indonesians. And then the research design would be pre-test and post-test design. And then the learners needed to watch a 9-minute excerpt from a documentary, and then the findings showed that the caption group had a potential to boost the vocabulary learning from audiovisual input. And then moreover, imagery was specifically related to word learning, and it means that words that were shown in close proximity to the oral occurrence of the words were more likely to be learned. In introduction, there is growing evidence that foreign language vocabulary can be picked up incidentally through watching short video clips and then full-length TV programs and also extensive TV viewings by Montero and Itis. Then for vocabulary learning from audiovisual input, Pumage and Peters in 2019 demonstrated that learners can also learn the form of unfamiliar lexicalisms, or we could say single words as well as formaloid sequence through TV viewing. Then, the role of imagery in vocabulary learning from audiovisual input. So the key characteristics of audiovisual input compared to other types of input is its combinations of oral text and visual image. And in History of Multimedia Learning, Mayer in 2014 states that people learn more deeply from words and pictures than from words alone. Factors that affecting vocabulary learning from audiovisual input. So, based on the previous studies from Rogers and Webb 2019, the role of a number of word-related variables in vocabulary learning through TV viewing, such as frequency of occurrence and word corpus. Frequency have been found to affect word learning positively, and although its effect seems to be smaller in longitudinal studies that investigated extensive viewing. The following research questions were addressed. The first is, does imagery have an impact on on word learning from audiovisual input? And the second is, does input modality like caption, L1 subtitles, and no subtitles have an impact on word learning from audiovisual input? And the third is there an interaction effect of imagery and on-screen text or input modality on word learning from audiovisual input? The participants were from 81 EFL learners, and they were from 12 grade classes of a senior high school in Tagalog. And then the data of 20 participants were not included into the analysis because these participants either were absent in one of the data collection section or had a much lower score on the post-test than on the pre-test. Then the participants were randomly assigned into one of the experimental conditions. First would be the caption group, and then the second would be the L1 subtitles group, and the third group is no subtitles or control group. So learners had pre-intermediate to intermediate proficiency levels or A2 to B1 1 of CFR. And then their scores on vocabulary size test passed on Nation and Builder 2007 range from 28 to 82 out of 140 with an average of 48.78. So the input, the audiovisual input used was an excerpt 8 minutes 20 seconds of the documentary of Planet Earth 2006, which is the same documentary as the one analyzed in Rogers 2018. Here is the table 1 lexical profile of the input. So, as can be seen in table 1, analysis of the lexical profile of the documentary excerpt shows that 80 lexical coverage was reached with 3,000 most frequent for families in English, as indicated by the vocab profile told in Lex Tutor Cup and DB. For the target items, 36 target items were selected from the audiovisual input, 17 items had imagery support, and the rest of it, or 19 items, were not supported by on-screen imagery. And then 6 of them were cognates, and then 30 were non-cognates. And the frequency of occurrence ranged from 1 to 5. Here is the table 2. So the task collection instruments, the first was vocabulary task, and then there would be 2 kinds of tasks. The first, the form recognition pre-task, the form recognition, and it would be pre-task and the post-task. And the kind is the learner were asked to think of whether they have heard or seen the word. So it is yes, was it yes or no? And then the meaning recall, the learners were asked to give all meaning senses like translation, synonym, and also the definitions. And like I said before, that the vocabulary task, which was include 140 test items, and then the last is the questionnaire. So the procedure was as follows. First, learners were provided with the spoken and written form of the test item, so that they think of whether they have heard or seen the word before, and then they get the meaning of the test item. So this format was used to minimize the test durations because 2 separate tests would take longer. So vocabulary size task, it's based on the Nation and Goodword. Here are the questions in, and it should be translated in Bahasa Indonesia. So the data, all the data were collected in November 2018. So the procedure consisted of 2 sessions. The first session is vocabulary size task and the pre-task. The items were provided in the spoken and written form, and then session 2, the learners watch the video excerpt twice, and then whether they are in caption groups, L1 group, or no subtitle groups, and then they completed the questionnaire, and then did the vocabulary first task. As in the pre-task, learners could hit and see the test item. For the data analysis, so in the form recognition task, data of learners who think of 3 or more known words were not analyzed. So in this case, there were 3 students. So furthermore, data of 58 participants in total were analyzed. And then for the meaning recall task was scored by 2 raters. So the disagreement between the 2 raters were resolved through discussion. Then, to answer the recent questions, repeated measures logistic regression per task part, like form recognitions and meaning recall recognitions. Meaning recall was run in SPS as version 26. That is the generalized estimating equation GE procedure in SPSS. The predictors in our regressions model were input modality, imagery, interaction between input modality and imagery, cognates, corpus frequency, frequency of occurrence, and also learners' scores on PSC, or we could say as prior vocabulary knowledge. As the result, in Table 3, the caption groups obtained higher scores than L1 subtitles groups and also no subtitle groups. And then the analysis of variance of ANOVA was run to determine whether the differences were statistically significant, and then all assumptions for ANOVA, normality, homogeneity were met. So the result of four recognition tests, the analysis revealed that the odds of learning were lower for words without on-screen imagery. And then the analysis also showed that the type of subtitles were related to word learning, and the caption group performed significantly better than the L1 subtitles or no subtitle groups. But no significant interactions between group and imagery was found. So which means that the effect of imagery wasn't dependent on the type subtitles. And then cognates was the strongest predictor of word learning. And then in meaning recall test, the analysis showed that except for the interaction between group and imagery, all predictors contributed significantly to the model. So learners' prior vocabulary size was positively correlated with word learning, as were frequency of occurrence and corpus frequency. So it should be noted that the effect of corpus frequency was larger in the meaning recall test than in the form recognition test. For the conclusion, so this present study focused in particular on the effect of on-screen imagery and on-screen text on word learning from audiovisual input. So this study is the first to show that on-screen imagery is conducive to word learning at the level of form recognition as well as meaning recall. And then in addition to imagery and captions, word learning were also enhanced by word-related variables such as cognates, frequency of occurrence, corpus frequency, as well as learners' prior vocabulary knowledge. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
You said cognates before. Why do cognates become the most predictor in word learning?
Okay. Because when we are learning a new language, cognate is an easy word to remember because it looks like and means the same thing as word you already know. So for examples like penguin, Antarctica, community, like that. So the learners didn't need to think about the meaning of the words. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you so much for your attention. I do hope it's going to be useful for us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.